Hello my friends, may I introduce you to a gag comedy Exorcist manga released in June of 2024 in Weekly Shonen Jump about a scaredy cat exorcist with 3 words. The title? No, not that one. This week we have Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi by the newcomer Shoichi Usui, and it's our second comedy Exorcist manga in a row. And now, I promised you guys last week that I would save you from my 4th rant about, oh, there's too many Exorcist manga in Weekly Shonen Jump, so if you're here for that, well, go check my previous video. But the long story short is just that Jump keeps publishing Exorcist manga, and we're all tired of it. But while I think Yokai Buster Murakami could have saved himself from the conversation just by having the job changed from Exorcist to something like Yokai Hunter, for example, that is very much not the case with Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, because like the title implies, this is very much an Exorcist manga with our main character going around exorcising demons. But just like Yokai Buster Murakami, this manga also follows an exorcist that is scared of fighting the demons that he has to exorcise, which is sad because, as we're going to see throughout the manga, is actually really strong. We start this manga with him acting all smug, saying he's going to defeat the demon in like 2 seconds, just to reveal to us he's actually scared witless. The first part of this manga is actually pretty funny, with him managing to intimidate the demon for a short while before the demon actually finds out that he's scared and him completely breaking down. He breaks down so hard that the demon actually feels sorry for him and starts acting nice, which is when we actually catch a glimpse of Kiyoshi's powers, or actually, we don't, because he's so strong that he manages to remove the demon from the girl so fast that we don't even see it happening in the manga. With that out of the way, we get the backstory of our 2 characters, the demon and our main character. The demon is called Yamada, and he works for the water department in the Devil World. Yes, Yamada is out here possessing this girl because the demon lord himself told him so, but he reveals that he doesn't actually want to possess anyone, rather just wanting to have his day job and going back to his family, his wife and son at the end of the day. And Kiyoshi also drops why he wants to be an exorcist. It's because his family was all killed by demons. It's pretty typical trope, and not even the manga seems to want to dwell too much on it, with his backstory being reserved to like 2 or 3 panels only. The 2 bond a bit more, with Yamada actually trying to help Kiyoshi overcoming his fears, but that moment is cut short when the demon lord Miro himself appears in front of both of them and dispatches Yamada. This is where the manga fully turns into a battle shonen, with Kiyoshi saving Yamada and then using his full power against the demon lord and eventually defeating him. Of course, the manga ends with Yamada revealing that Demon Lord Miro is actually only one of 13 demon lords that are probably all going to want to defeat Kiyoshi from now on. Okay, so here's my biggest problem with the manga, the thing that I absolutely hated the whole time that I was reading it. It's good. It's fucking good. The manga is good. It should not be this good. I think pretty much everyone was making fun of this manga when the first images came in. This was an Exorcist manga that looked like the most generic, edgy battle shonen to have ever exist. A certain cancellation, a U19 in the making, and then the manga drops and it's honestly my favorite chapter of the year so far. It's unfair to me. It was fully ready to dislike something for a change. But alas, here we are. Based on nothing but the first chapter, I think this is probably the best of its kind in recent times. It's genuinely funny, the main leader has a great personality, the fight, even if it's short, was pretty good, and there was enough emotional narrative between Kiyoshi and Yamada to keep me engaged. My biggest problem, like genuine, honestly my biggest problem with the series, is how it will move going forward. As in, we don't know. This manga is still a battle shonen, one whose highlight was the comedy and the characters, so I'm honestly scared that it will go full on battle shonen moving forward. I saw many people comparing Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi with Mashle, and while I disagree, mostly because I think Exorcist Kiyoshi had more funny jokes in its first chapter than Mashle had its entire run, I can definitely see how people made these comparisons based on its genres and the structure of the final fight. Both are mixes of battle shonen and comedy, and the fight follows the structure of bad guy boasts a lot before being completely destroyed by the overpowered main character. However, I do believe that there's differences in execution. Kiyoshi is, in my opinion, a far more interesting character than Mash Burnett ever was. Sure, both of them are goofballs who happen to be very strong, but I think the fact that Kiyoshi is afraid of the demons that he has to face actually brings a little bit more to that than MASH missed. Plus, I think it's a lot more expressive and fun to follow than MASH ever was. That doesn't say that I think MASH is an horrible character or that I think that pen humor can't work, but he's definitely a character that needs a good surrounding cast to make the manga work, while on the other hand I think Kiyoshi can actually carry the manga by himself. But the reason why I brought MASH wasn't just to trash it, it's actually because it serves as a cautionary tale to Kiyoshi. You see, even among the people that like Mashal, I think most of them start drifting off and losing interest when the manga reached its midpoint, and that's because it was around that time that Mashal starts focusing more on battles. The battles were never Mashal's strong point, so it actually made the manga a lot more generic and boring to read. I don't want this manga to turn into the generic schlock that we all thought it was going to be. And sure, it wouldn't be the first manga to have one stellar chapter just to disappoint me in the next following ones, but I really do hope it continues the quality that it has and survives in the magazine. I mean, I'm always a bit pessimistic when it comes to this part of the videos, and that's because I'm normally right. Most series that start in Jump end in cancellation and not in success. But with My Hero Academia actually ending very soon, there's a spot to fill, and if Kiyoshi manages to catch the art of the readers, maybe it can be the one to fill it. I would definitely prefer it over all the other Exorcist manga in the magazine. Yes, that includes Jujutsu Kaisen. Sure, some people may think that Yokai Buster Murakami is going to have special treatment because it's being reserved as the bookend gag manga, and there's been some very long-lasting manga in that spot that weren't super popular, but actually the last two that held that spot got cancelled pretty early. Teenage Renaissance David was cancelled with 30 chapters, and I'm From Japan actually, in one of the weirdest, most strangest runs ever in Weekly Shonen Jump, actually moved to Psycho Jump with 30 chapters as well. So Murakami is definitely not safe, giving Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi a fighting chance. We'll have to see how it goes. And actually, if you want to know more about I'm From Japan's run, you should check out the video on the left. It's really interesting, I promise. If you want to know my first thoughts on all the previous series in Jump, click the playlist on the right, and if you want to know my first thoughts on all the upcoming series, consider subscribing. And if you watched till here, thank you very much, and I'll see you next video.